And we're transitioning. Are we live? Are we audible? Are we okay? I don't know if anybody has the stream open, but we've got a few people in the chat tonight. Welcome, welcome. Marine, hey, hey, Mom. Abbott Costello, welcome, welcome. So if everybody can just double check that I sound okay, feel free to tell me.
Yeah, you sound fine, mate.
Fantastic. So hello and welcome to DC30 and our Mythic Odyssey of Theros, D&D with an ancient Greek twist. I am your Dungeon Master, Romeo, and I am joined as ever by my lovely players, Ali, Morse, Tamara, Virla, and Violet. The lovely Rebecca, or as you know her, Bithynia, the Warlock of the Sphinx, will be joining us. Oh, no, sorry, will be in absentia tonight as she has holidays and things like that, other prior commitments. So we wish her a wonderful time and look forward to seeing her again very soon. I would like to start the stream tonight by with a couple of announcements. First, the first of our emotes are being approved now, so you can now, with a subscription, unlock the Skotidos emote, the Xanthia emote, and the Calliope emote. Anybody who's been watching us for a while will be familiar with Calliope. And as the others get approved, you'll be able to get the Amalia /// emote, and rolling more forward, and even the Bokios Rage animated emote. Yes, I took Bokios's Rage emote and put it on the animated slot because it lets you pre-generate like a shaky effect, which just gelled really well with the Rage aesthetic. And the second thing is the first of our channel point reactions have been set up, basically, and for that, actually, I will require a volunteer amongst, Virla, do you have a few drachmi to spare on the Twitch channel?
I think so, yeah. Let me see. Oh, I have 2.8k.
Perfect. Can I first ask you to redeem the yay?
Yay, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so for 200 drachmi, you can cheer the players on with a little Bithynia yay. And for the second one, if I know I can stammer sometimes, or, you know, like, not be quite crystal clear, so if you go ahead and redeem further down...
said words and I didn't understand them.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, I want that in other Twitch chats.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I out of fairness to Virla, I put that at 500 drachmi just so it's a little harder to utilize. But
it's quite the power move, and I love it.
I think you spoke to a lot of people when you as Tamara put it, that's a mood.
Yeah.
So
alpha move right there.
You too will be able to express your frustration at my over-articulation for a mere 500 drachmi. So, without further ado, shall we kick off?
Yay.
Right. When last we left off, you guys had gritted your teeth and dug your heels into the sand and continued to battle Baragon, father of Amalia, in order to stop him from reaching the dreaded mountain known as Winter's Heart, for a purpose that you know not the specifics of, but you could surmise is less than good for all mankind, or for all mortal kind. The battle was long and arduous. Many wounds were sustained, both physical and psychological. In the end, however, you were able to cut both of them down, both Baragon, well, not just Baragon, actually, and Pyrrha. Baragon, Pyrrha, his new human female companion that seems to have some history with Bithynia in that they both went to the Decatia together, as well as a fiendish creature known as a Heridian, who revealed itself as Albanor, a shape-shifting fiend who is actually the one who murdered Ganassi. For those of you joining us for the first time, Ganassi was Morse's first character.
He was very polite.
And now he did.
Now he's dead. Now he's very dead.
With your foes slain, you recalled the Manticore riders of the Leonin city that had been tasked with ferrying you to this destination, and you all made camp for the evening to tend to your wounds, rest up, and just, on some level as well, try to forget about the soul, I think is fair to say. Oh, I moved the layout accidentally. And just try to forget about the soul, I think it's fair to say. So, we find ourselves, in fact, let me get some Atmos in here. Good old Savannah ambience. So, as you all, with Bithynia as well, with the help of Xanthia, you all do that sort of double attune using the Vancian helm, and are able to produce two domes that are sort of connected to each other, almost like one of them Tatooine houses, like a double igloo. And building a fire, you guys take a moment to just breathe. Amalia, you still holding the scalp of your dead dad that you cut from his body, or have you put that away? Oh, that face.
Well, I skinned him, and then I put his mane as like a scarf. And then
So it's still
he's
moist
kind of...
around your neck.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, tanning that
Yeah.
shit is gonna take a second, so you're just doing it full on.
It sticks quite well.
Oh.
He's kind of dark. He's been waiting for this since... Okay, she was 16 when her mother was killed in front of her.
Yeah.
And then now she's 29. You know, fellow math.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
So as Amalia explains this to you all, you try to keep, as best as you can, to keep it in mind as you as you do your best to refrain from dry heaving at this sight. Because as
I
well,
think I'm probably using hemokinesis just to kind of help it adhere to
Yeah.
the side of her armor. So where it's kind of like gooping a little bit, I'm just kind of I'm almost like kind of like flesh crafting, but it's called like just like gore crafting. So it's kind of like just fits nicely, though it's certainly not a long-lasting adhesive, I would say.
Bithynia is furiously humming to herself, saying, "I can't hear or see anything that's going on. Nothing revolting is happening right now in my eye line." Just kind of like trying to tell herself more than anything else.
Watch is chugging significantly from his amphora of wine. Both from the battle and also, that's some nasty shit, dude.
Yeah. Just your amphora of wine, or your new acquisition?
No, the new acquisition is for a very special occasion.
Oh, God.
I kind of feel like I'm saving that for...
It is booze first and foremost. I only made it double as a grenade at your request.
Oh, I know, but I've only got 2 mouthfuls, and I'm saving that for a very specific circumstance.
Okie dokie. Very well. Sorry, yes, Scotty? You gonna say something?
Yes. I'm going to go over to Bithynia and say, did you say you had some form of recipe you wanted me to have a look at, but then everything happened and I just didn't have the chance to look at it?
Oh, right, yeah, we found it in this cave, remember, guys? Xanthia, did you have that bundle of stuff?
Can I give it to you back then?
Maybe I've slept since then.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but the Dungeon Master doesn't have that thing tabbed, and he'd have to go looking in the chats on Discord, and that would fuck up his layout. So, on the off chance somebody else has it.
I thought I had it, but if Xanthia wants to have it, Xanthia has it.
Oh, okay, Virla, do you have it? Do you have, like, the papers? Because I do not right now.
I do. I think think I have them somewhere in my notes.
Because if you have them, I'm more than willing to say that you had them all along. Because I
don't know
could have...
anymore.
1 second, let me find... Okay, so, yeah, no, you... So, thank God for my iPad, because I'm able to, save image, and I will send that to you, Scotty, on Discord.
Okay.
Hey, I can actually have Discord open, and, like, do other shit rather than keeping it restricted to, thing. But yeah, welcome, Panicoic ship. I hope I didn't butcher that. If you're tuning in for the first time, I was just saying, we've got emotes now, and we've got, GIFs and, like, little videos that you can redeem on the, Drakri thing, so, but yeah, that aside. Ooh, I forgot, But yeah, so, Hilira, walks up to you and, produces this, scroll and, elaborates, and Bithynia elaborates. Yeah, I think it was an abandoned, abandoned lab of some sort. Someone had set up and was brewing stuff in there, and there wasn't a whole lot left. Just this, and we've got enough ingredients to make one copy of this potion, but they only wrote down as much as they could remember.
I think I'm having a look at the as I'm kind of peering through it, and I'm trying to. Is it possible? I'm still in the process of trying to gain proficiency now for me supplies. How many days off am I? I've still got a way to go. Actually, I have 6 weeks and 5 days to go. Is there any roll I can make to see if I can ascertain some bits that are either ors, like the soaked or bruised, whether the belladonna is last or second last?
Unfortunately not really, and I'll just stepping
Okay.
out of character for a moment. This one's sort of designed to be a player puzzle as opposed to a roll for it.
I see.
I don't
Okay,
necessarily have the answers like tabbed either.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, this is kind of
Okay.
taking forever to load. There we go.
Okay, one must be ground, one chopped, one bruised, and one soaked in cold water first. Okay, I will spend some time ascertaining this order then. Now I can see what's going on. Did you want to share that on the...
Yeah,
you've got the
so I
ability
was
to
just
share something on the screen as well.
yeah, I was
as
just
will
trying to
start.
do so. Photo library. There we go. So wait, no,
I do not have a pen, so I'm going to be writing this down with mascara.
I feel like that.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? That's gonna be the next emote. That's gonna be the next channel point emote.
Alright.
Okay,
Right.
so fun new little feature I can actually because I can scroll this shit, players can actually see what you'll be seeing. So hey, we got a yay redeem. But yes, Scotty, you busy yourself studying that particular scroll. Does anybody else wish to do anything else? Okay. Hilira. As you're sort of sitting there, everybody's eating their various meals. The Leonin have been quite gracious enough, and they whip up this sort of like roast, like fritter type thing made out of some more of that axbeak meat that they were able to harvest. But Bithynia just very calmly and very reservedly just sits down next to you. Hey, kiddo.
Hi, Bithynia.
How are you holding up?
I don't really know.
Can I tell you how I'm holding up?
Of course.
I never faced anything that dangerous before. Even the Eater of Hope, that, I don't know, even when things got really bad during that, fight, I never thought we weren't gonna be okay. And, you know, I'm fine. I got lucky in, all that's happened today, so, I, just want you to know, you know, we're told from the moment we're born almost that it's wrong or bad or weak to feel pain or feel sad, and we shouldn't. And that puts this enormous pressure on all of us to stop feeling sad or in pain when we are. But that doesn't work, you know, it makes us feel worse. Just know that you deserve to give yourself the time to feel better on your own terms. If you're not necessarily feeling a hundo about everything that happened today. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure. It's just, I just, Amalia, and I kind of want to ask her how she's doing, because, like, ooh, she killed her dad. Like, that's a lot. And then I'm like, I don't want to be the person that's like, but like, I just kind of want to be okay. And I don't feel okay, and I don't like it.
So it's Amalia you're worried about.
Sure.
But then he's gonna roll an insight check. What's her insight? +7, good. That's a modified 20. You can roll contest.
Honestly, she doesn't know.
Okay.
She honestly doesn't know.
Okay. You notice that Bithynia seems to relax a little at that. It's she's relieved that you're not hiding anything, and seems to have been genuinely just concerned. And she just finishes by saying, "All right, if you're, there's no question without an answer, and we should never be afraid to look for the answer. So, if you're worried about Amalia, go ask her how she's feeling. And I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you're safe. Yeah, you took a lot today, and just look, just know we're all really proud of you, and I hope that doesn't come across as talking down to you or anything. You're a woman. You're not a child anymore, and I'm sure you've had way too many people tell you that you are. But I'll always reserve the right to look out for you. And she just gives you a playful nudge with her fist. You can tell she's trying to be a bit casual, maybe not necessarily her forte in doing so, but the sincerity is there for it. And she's like, and right now, if you'll excuse me, and she finishes the last part of the ritual she's been working on, and meow, couplet rematerializes. And she's like, "Hey, my little girl," and she starts scratching her under the chin, and like, and couplet starts purring away.
Alira will take Bithynia's advice and try and find Amalia wherever she is.
As you go to walk, couplet flies up and just lands on your shoulder and just nestles into the side of you, offering her warmth.
Hi, Scritches.
Meow.
Nice.
I got a stupid mic that like filters out like white noise, but
Purring.
it thinks my purring is white noise. It's like, no, it does. I need to figure that
You
out.
need to force it, yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, you go find Amalia. All right, where would you find you, Amalia?
Well, just before she finds me, can I go to Bacchios and Xantia and just tell them thank you? Because technically,
Okay, go
Thank
for it.
you.
So you find Bacchios and Xanthia. What do you say to them exactly?
can I talk to you, but just for a second?
I'm still drinking, so I hold up my finger while I still.
All right, Archer.
Yeah, of course, Amalia. What can I do for you?
As you do that, the Leonin whose cask you borrowed said, "You said a sip," and he just looks really dejected at the empty
Never.
cask.
Listen, I never said how big that sip was gonna be. All right.
Just
That's true.
for future reference, don't give Bacchus your booze if you want it back at some point.
Xanthia, what are you
Never works.
doing? What are you doing to me? You can't do this to. Anyway, sorry, we're getting
The
off topic.
the magical rider just walks away a bit sad. But yes, continue.
Are you both okay? Because you were frozen and, you know, water is your friend, so I was a bit confused. But I couldn't really focus because, you know, red eyes, and when I'm in red eye mode, I kind of go for the thing that I need to kill. And then also, people kept hitting you, so
I mean,
how are you
listen,
guys?
people have been hitting me my entire life. Now I'm just finding a way to make that, actually useful.
Yeah, I'm honestly as confused as you are about this whole being frozen thing. Did not see that coming. Still trying to make sense of it.
Just wanted to say thank you
You're quite
for,
welcome.
you know,
I mean,
coming with
Yeah.
us.
listen, we help you help us. We help you, you help us. I mean, that's what friends are for, right?
I'm just
You
glad
said
that you're safe
friends.
now.
You said friends. We were
What?
never friends.
What?
You said
No, I
friends.
didn't.
You
No,
can't take that back.
I meant
This is the vibe.
no, I meant acquaintances or partners
No.
or.
You said friends.
It-
And we
it
agreed I
obviously
hated
much.
you when I met you. But then I said I liked you. And then now you just said friends. So technically we're friends. And she kind of grabs him because, you know, she's quite big and hugs him.
And I get a face full of matted bloody fur.
Yeah. There's like an awful sound as she like comes in.
Yeah, like the strands of my beard get like caught in it, and so as I pull away, it's sort of like my beard just sort of like stretches out and then snaps back, just like dripping with Leonid blood. Yeah.
Oh, she has a scarf, like an actual silky scarf. She like grabs that out and she's like, nope, not gonna use this. And then grabs her clothes and then just sort of goes, is that better?
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, good lord. But hey, listen, it helps with my manly odor, right? Yeah, you've got to get the sweat, you've got to get the blood, you've got to get last night's dinner. These are the proper manly smells that we all really like.
How long were you
Now's not
alone
the time.
for?
So,
Wait, what?
How long were you alone in the forest for?
10 years.
Yeah, this explains a lot.
That is the exact
People-
face of your emotes, Anthea.
10 years, and then this little acronian over here, I point to Hilaria, found me in a cave, and now I'm here. So really, if I do anything wrong, technically it's Hilaria's fault.
No. It's your fault. Don't
Maybe we
blame
should
the little
really
one.
learn how to take responsibility, but I'm tired. Let's
I want to take
not talk about this
responsibility.
today. I'm still cold.
I'm fucking knackered. Your dad was a bastard. He was he was a tough cunt.
No. You see why I wanted to kill him?
Yeah. I'm glad he's dead.
Me too.
Or am I? No, I'm kidding.
No one outrages me. Outrages, not outrageous. Yeah.
I feel like both apply, to be honest. Oh, just before we turn in, guys, Bithynia says, just to make sure we enjoy a good night's sleep. She takes out just this little thin sheet of lead and a piece of opaque glass and just presses them together and just does like a compressing motion. Like this, like pulse, like the sphere expands in every direction. And it ends up being about 60 feet across to encompass both of the spheres. And it feels like a massive, like fogged... So it looks like almost like a fogged dome that expands outwards as she casts Mordekainen's Private Sanctum, which she can do for free now. So,
Right. Piety.
I think Scotinus is probably going to do the brewing outside of the dome to not get the aromas, because there's already enough smells going around the dome.
oh yeah, so you're not...
Brew.
So he's gonna try... So, yeah, definitely don't hotbox the dome.
Indeed. He's gonna start brewing though.
Okie dokie. Have you figured out the combo?
Yep. Yes. So
Bear with me just 1 second. I'll pull up the correct answer as well.
let's see how badly I do. Okay. So
Hotbox the dome. I'm more than game. Anyway.
So he.
One of the Leonins just wordlessly passes you a pipe way ahead of you.
So the
just to finish that point, the Leonin just says, "All right, I know you think you're a tough guy, but dose yourself, because 1 puff is relaxing, 2's a party, 3's the best night's sleep of your life, 4 and Erebos shows up to rip your heart out through your kneecaps."
Take 3.
Okay, and as that happens, 1 second, Scotty, I do apologize.
That's alright.
Hey, we got a notification. What we got here? What was that notification? I missed it. Oh shit, that reminds me. Add. I'm so sorry about this. Add existing. So, if someone followed, I do apologize. But I have the followed tab now. I have the asset. I forgot to add it. Sorry, I'm still new to OBS. But to whoever just followed, or to whoever just followed, thank you so much. I do apologize. Anywho, House campaign. Okay, so start telling me about the order, Scotty.
Yeah, sure. So I've got the boiling water good to go. So first I add the king's wort that I've had soaked in cold water. Once I've added that, shortly afterwards I add my chopped dragon's heart.
Got it.
Followed a bit afterwards by the bruised belladonna. And then to top it off, I grind up the manticore spikes and add that to the potion.
Okay. Very meticulously and very carefully, you pop in the king's wort. You take very good care to slice up the dragon heart effectively, and do the sort of thinnest, precisest slices of your life. As you plop them in, it fizzes, and you recoil for a moment, fearing something may be happening, and then it dies down. And it turns kind of like a yellowy green color that almost seems sort of corrosive, and you grit your teeth and keep going. You pop in the belladonna, which just dissolves like like chalk powder into water, kind of just is gone instantly, and then it colors it sort of deeper brown color, almost like a really, really strong tea. And then as the last point, you prepare the manticore spikes. You take a deep breath and you plop them all in, and after a sudden it starts to bubble over, and like it foams almost like a way too foamy head pint. And you fear it may spill over until it hits the rim, and then it settles down again and turns a rich, strong red.
I will
Go ahead and take a
allow-
point of piety for succeeding that. And I will say the experience, how much did you say you still had left to learn?
I've still got a ways to go. I have 6 weeks and 5 days.
I will say take 3 days off for succeeding that.
Ah, awesome.
Quick question, Mr. DM.
Yes?
Sorry this is taking everyone at the moment, but on D&D Beyond, where were we recording Piety?
That was up to you guys.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
I've been popping it down. Where have I put it? I've been putting it in my description, I think. Half the time.
Okay.
Do you remember what you
No,
did?
actually, I popped it in my backstory. Actually.
Do you remember what the starting amount I gave you was, Barkios?
No, I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
put it in
think
the
we
notes
started
bit
with
as well.
11 in the one shot.
Yeah. I think 11 sounds about right, but I think I had you guys roll for it?
No, I think you just gave me a flat number.
Okay, did I give you... In that case, I'm happy to go off of 11 for Barkios as well. You would have an extra 5. Did I give you any extra piety?
You gave me an extra 1 point for an amazing use of the command word and calling Clovis a sexy bitch.
That's... Okay, cool. So that would be a total of 6 extra.
17 then. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem at all. As Morse has clearly demonstrated, it is 100% possible to increase it of your own volition.
Nice.
So, you all should have access to what it is your respective deities like and do not like. And I will, as the DM, judge accordingly. Okay, it's based on what is, like, it says it should look like at the end, you garner that you have been successful.
I'm going to allow it to cool, and then I will decant it into one of my bottles, because it needs to be a bottle rather than a vial for this, because it's a potion. And I will... I mean, do you want me to write it down as my decanted potion, or do you want me to just write it down as what it is?
It's a potion. It's a potion of healing, so you can just use it as is.
Okay. Is it a potion of healing or a potion of greater healing?
I wrote down greater healing.
It is a potion of greater healing.
Hey!
Nice.
Happy days.
If you had gotten it wrong, it would have been a potion of poison, but it would have looked identical.
I love it. I love it. That goes a long way, I think, because I think I'm out of potions, because I think I used them all to keep it. Oh, no, I've got 1 potion of healing at the moment, so now I've got a potion of greater as well. So.
How many...
Pieces of that ointment left.
Yeah, so you got some of that ointment left, yeah.
Oh, I'll remove the ointment from my list, actually, because you've got it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Nice. Yeah, with that all done, he'll decant it, and then he will rinse out the things. Like what? I mean, do we have a source of water nearby?
You have the pond from where the battle took place.
Yeah, I'll kind of use some water from that just to kind of like clean things down, and then
Okay.
with that done, he will, fairly exhausted now after everything, he will then just quietly.
As you fill the
Well,
water bottle up, one head, two heads. No, I'm kidding.
Not again.
Yeah. For those
It's
of you
alright.
watch-
I turn around to call for help and I forget. Alright. Yes, yes, I'll return back to one of the domes, find a space, and kind of just collapse, and then sleep.
Very good. Does anybody wish to do anything else before the evening draws from to a close?
I'm already drunk and passed out.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, just in the chat. Squidge03, that's right. So, quick backstory. In a previous random encounter, the party stopped to admire a pond much like the one that's next to them, and a massive iron scale hydra popped out that proved to be a bit of a tricky battle. So that was a callback. But no, you guys are free from iron scale hydras. You all just, unless anybody wishes to do anything else before the evening draws to a close, you all find your ways to sleep. And Hilira, as sleep takes you, you just before you drift off, you just hear a "You're amazing today. I'm proud of you, dear." And you nod off. Bukios. As sleep takes you, you drift off into inky blackness and feel that familiar feeling of falling. Except it keeps going. And going, and you fall. You see, it feels like you're falling through inky blackness, and you see almost like a long glowing rope beneath you, and you stretch out your hands to catch it, and you're hanging on this rope, and you can't quite make out where it extends to into inky blackness. But you look to your side, and you see another one next to it, and you look to the other side, and another one next to it, and another almost like long guitar strings. And you watch as Doom stamping out of the blackness. Doom. You see the familiar form of Clothis, each rope being one of her threads of fate that she sort of seems to be weaving and holding around her fingertips. She does like a flurry movement, and you're almost flicked off, but you when you're flung up, you just catch and land on your feet, and all of a sudden... So it's still inky blackness all around, but it feels like the actual terrain has changed. So you're flung up and you stand. Clothis, no less enormous, as in the size of the largest tower you've ever seen, just staring down upon you. You've done well.
Thank you, O Clothis. I only live to serve you.
Oh, don't grovel. One thing I can't stand is people groveling. And don't apologize. First it's, "I'm sorry here, forgive me there, and I'm not worthy." Monty Python.
Monty Python Holy Grail, yeah, very good. I immediately got that. I appreciate that. One question then, Clothy. Now you told me to assist anyone in my path for the next few weeks, and that's all very well and good, but I almost fucking died. Now, is there a next step to your grand plan? Or are you doing what I do in these situations and just make it up as I go?
I'd strike you for your insolence, but I think you've earned a stay of my hand.
I mean, depending on what kind of strike, I might kind of enjoy it, so, that's...
She just flicks her hand, and you watch one of the threads erupt with razor blades.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I will grovel a bit. I'm sorry.
And they she just flicks her hand again, and all the razor blades retreat back into the thread.
Okay.
I'll answer your question honestly. It is a combination of both. The threads of fate are out of alignment at the moment, Bacchus. And I don't know why. So if you must know, yes, I am, at least to a degree, that, for lack of a better term, in your simple mind, I am reacting to a degree.
Okay. Now...
But do not for a second think it is not without unfathomable calculus.
Okay. Now, do you have any suggestions on what I should do next?
Stay your path for the moment. I'm not being cryptic. When I can foresee more, I will tell you more. And you know Clothis is many things, but a liar is not one of them.
Fair enough.
Tell me, Bacchus, do you know my purpose?
I suppose I know your purpose in the same way that I know what the ant does. Because I have no fucking clue. I am merely your instrument here. Let's be real. You're a mighty goddess, and I am a teeny tiny, insignificant, eeny weeny piece of shit.
And I appreciate your, deference, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a trick question. And you've known her to normally be quite imperious, but she seems to have softened a little. You get the sense that, she, as much as a goddess of destiny is capable of showing it, she is genuinely pleased with your accomplishments, and so is, being less, Professor McGonagall about it than usual.
Awesome.
And she goes on to... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just wondering, whether or not she dropped the "why when there's always trouble, it's always you three." Sorry. It's one of my favorite lines from Professor Max. Anyway, go on.
She, sort of draws to her full height and, almost like puppet strings, pulls her threads apart, and you watch as the inky blackness behind her begin to shimmer and change. And you see standing larger than even her, this enormous figure that seems to be a feminine humanoid made entirely out of the cosmos. It was almost like a glass statue with the universe inside of them. And as you look more closely, though, each star, however, is this sort of is not a star in what you might see in the night sky. It is, in fact, a geometric shape that seems to be rotating, and you hear millions upon millions of little sounds as each of these little geometric stars rotates. And you look closely, they're not quite stars, actually. They're little depictions of sundials. That is Aura, Keeper of Time. My mother to you. When the world was young, Galatea and Oranon were busy fucking like rabbits and spawning the Titans.
Nice.
My mother conceived me, my sister, and my brother, and as she does, she says that, just materializing next to her, and what you gather is an illusion for visual aid, but no less real looking to you. The form of Krufix, similar in sort of like he seems to be made out of the cosmos, but So yeah, he's like the four-armed hooded figure who actually seems to be a silhouette of the night sky with stars populating his entire body. Almost as if like a cutout of the night sky in the shape of a four-armed robed man. And standing next to him on the other side, you see a sort of, I don't know what the adjective is, but sort of Dimitresque style, tall, mature, but female figure. So with, I'm just digging myself a hole here, but you see a figure who sort of reminds you of Clothis, but even taller and even sort of more imperious in demeanor. But this one has robes of the inkiest black and a veil that covers her eyes ever so slightly, and the most raven black of hair, and you know that to be Nycta, goddess of night. And our mother conceived the three of us of her own bosom, her own body. And she tasked us with guarding the passage of existence. She tasked us with overseeing all the squabbling masses of deities that were to come. The three pillars of existence. Entropy. And you watch as Nycta has like the sort of like faintly purple aura that glows, almost like the sort of like check mark. I like to point her out as a visual aid as part of saying the word. Entropy. Curiosity. A blue aura comes around Krufix. Destiny. And that sort of slightly palish red surrounds aura. Sorry, surrounds Clothis. That is my purpose. My sister Nycta may steer what has transpired. What goes into that good night. My brother Krufix oversees the middle, what is as yet unknown. Curiosity, the drive to discover the mystery and the mystery itself. But I am that burning desire that drives one to forge, to build, to fight. And it is that innate call to purpose for purpose's sake, which was why I've chosen you. Do not misunderstand me. You are not mindless. What you are is more than driven. You are the concept of drive. You exist to exist. You exist to accomplish. For the sake of accomplishing. Not merely the goal itself. You are about the journey. And every destination, and she points to herself, needs an iron drive to the journey. Take comfort in that, at least, if it is of any comfort.
Very well. Kind of in awe here. For once, don't really know what to say. But thanks for sticking with me this long. You've been with me for years, and now I feel like we're finally getting to it. Let's do this. You and me. Let's go.
And that is your most admirable quality. You're not much one to say. You simply do. Go now. Enjoy your night's rest. You have earned it.
Thanks. Thanks.
And she just plucks one of the threads, and just the ground disappears from, like, there was nothing there to begin with. You were standing on inky black, but what you felt beneath your feet is gone, and you fall. And you sort of just fade into the black, and resume a night of normal, restful dreams and sleep. More restful than you've had in some time.
Nice. As a point, I was because your DMing was on point there. I couldn't do this at the time, but when you described Orla, I was this close to just saying MILF.
I think you mean I think you mean Nikta. Aura is the one made out of stars.
Yeah, isn't she the mother of?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were saying MILF in response to the Dimitrescu description of Nikta.
Oh, that too, but yeah,
Okay.
That's just,
Fine. I shouldn't have pulled that thread. But yes.
That's only ever gonna go on.
But yeah, so this is common knowledge. Aura is one of the primordials, one of the first 5 beings in existence. As the legend goes, the first being, a creature called Kaon, which was the first being, simply known as the Void, destroyed himself to create the universe. And the 5 largest pieces of him became these primordial beings, and their progeny afterwards became the Titans and then the gods. Aura was formed from Kaon's brain or mind. She is the keeper of time. She is the embodiment of the complex.
Awesome. Okay. Noted. But at this point, Barkios is now very much asleep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'll make a straight strength check, Barkios.
Oh god. All right. Which die? Ooh, Grog's die. That'll do. Oh, that's good. Natural 18 plus 9. Oh no, it's strength check plus 5 then. So 23.
Okay, still good. Just middle of the night. As Barkios, unbeknownst to everybody else who was also asleep, finds his rhythm and rest. Did you guys hear anything just now, or did my mic cut that all out? Okay, I'll try again.
Afraid we missed out.
Okay, fuck you, super good, like, filtration mic. You hear a massive loud snort ring out as Barkios just full on finds his groove. But yeah, unless there is any more for any more, you will find yourselves awaken, long night's rest, and you set out.
As we are getting up in the morning, I'm going to say to the group, though, but to Bithynia, but to the group as well. So that tattoo we found, have we decided who wants it?
You wanted it. You deserve it at least, in my opinion.
Okay, that was easy.
Bithynia just says, never one to outright turn something down, but I'm not gonna fight you for it or anything like that. You know.
I promise I'll put it to very good use. I even have an idea for the tattoo.
And she says, "Yeah, honestly, you're the squishiest of us. No offense.
No, yeah, it's very, very accurate.
And you know, we need you, buddy. So you keep yourself safe."
In which case, as we're getting up and ready in the morning, I would like to attune to the tattoo.
Okay.
Which I believe it's okay. So if it's done in the same way that his Illuminator's tattoo had to be set up, he has to hold the needle against him as he's kind of attuning.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So without so the tattoo doesn't. I don't know what the specifics of it says on D&D Beyond, but house rule for me, the tattoo doesn't give you the ability to draw good. So I will. You can choose the form. if it's complex, I might ask for a dexterity check. Last time with the
Sure.
illuminated tattoo, you had Penelope to do it.
Yes. Well, the last tattoo, it was a quote that from one of his songs. So it was which forms down his arm, which is "Drink from the vine, for your life is no better than mine," which kind of runs along there, and then with the tip kind of with the snake coming up to his finger.
Perfect.
For
just a
this-
quick thing. Sorry. Pancake. To answer your question, press it and find out. Sorry. Continue, Scotty.
It's a good one. So and would be suitable to this one because effectively the form of the tattoo is going to be an amalgamation of multiple lines of the various songs that he's written over the last not very long that he's been traveling with the group. But he starts first writing the chorus of the love song he wrote and has yet to sing to Galateos, which reads, "My heart shall lie not in those banner-laden tents, in courts made of brass, in manors built fast, but in the arms of the warriors, the arms of the builders, I can't help but fall." And then
I can't.
over
Okay,
that-
I can't redeem the thing because it's on a cooldown for me as well. Can somebody redeem the "you just said words" thing so Pancake can see it?
Oh, you certainly can. I cannot. We have to wait. We must wait 6 minutes and
Yeah.
6 minutes. To
I
use
put a
it.
cooldown. So it's everybody. So okay, we'll do it in a second. Yeah, I put a cooldown on it. I didn't want people spamming emotes to the nth degree.
I've got 5 minutes of words to write on my
Okay.
on me to
So
fill
yeah,
up.
that's easy enough. As you're putting the words down, Bithynia comes in, sort of just examines your work, and she just scans over one section. This looks like a job for me, but everyone should follow me. Wait, this isn't you. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't. Dumb joke. But yeah, so Bithynia offers a little bit of assistance in terms of she's a master of calligraphy and she's able to.
Yes, I basically I quote her songs. A quote from Clancy the Kobold.
Yeah.
Where is where did I put
I'm trying to remember the
Clancy?
quotes. It's just "fuck you, so can I" are the two things he ever said. I'm pretty sure.
That is exactly what he said, but it then became an absolute beauty. I think.
Yeah.
What's the saying?
Again, for first-time watchers.
Oh Clancy! Like seriously, that was a badass way to go.
Yeah. For those of you who are watching for the first time, Clancy was a singular, regular-ass kobold who managed to put up more of a fight against Scotty than some other enemies he's seen.
Yep, pretty much. And then on that, and effectively all the what eventually happens is just these like lines and lines of text and different quotes kind of just merge into it's kind of more like a mishmash of words that kind of cover his chest area, where if you're looking you can kind of just about pick up the different ones there as well, but they kind of all merge over each other.
And just as Bithynia's sort of finishing, she says, "Right, now you said you wanted this back section in Comic Sans, right?"
Iris?
No, I wanted it in Webdings.
Right. I always get those two mixed up, and she, she would, unless specified otherwise, she would do it in the standard Theran alphabet, which is sort of Greek in that sort of
that works fine.
hard lines and
all the songs that he's written, so that he's never really it's definitely been closer to Theron rather than anything that might be closer to how a Dawn Greek might write their song script. It's definitely it's not that. It's definitely more the Theron way. And then to top it off, he'll then add a line from the Winter's Heart song. You'll regret forever, yeah. Your fragile will be spent, and then somewhere, probably like over the top, he's then just going to add the bit about,
no regrets.
No regrets, and then just the word fishy, just like in like so, just a fishy, which makes no sense unless anyone had listened to the song beforehand. But that's fine. So it's just loads and loads of different like words, just all calligraphied over each other. And it just forms like a big colourful mess.
And once she's one and done, her writing hand, she just basically just flicks the needle, like just like a little like a pen spin, and then just like flicks it, and it just like she flicks it at you, but as it hits you, it just gets absorbed by you, and boom, the tattoo thrums everything in one place. What color do you make everything?
It's various shades of red.
I presumed as much. I just didn't want to assume.
No, fair enough.
And
They're
you
mostly red. There might be some of them have like maybe like greenish hues, almost sort of like maybe blacky hues, based on sort of like the creatures there. There's definitely
Exactly,
an
yeah.
underlying like crimson in there.
And once it is one and done, it is beautiful, just menagerie of text. Almost like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that effect where people take pages of books and sort of like lather them in glue and mache them down onto furniture or things like that. But it's just this cornucopia of text that has a beauty in its fullness. As in, you know, it's beautifully messy. There's a story there. And you admire your work and satisfied?
My AC's up to 17.
Bithynia looks at you for a moment, points a finger, boom, Eldritch Blast, and she's half cocking it, so it boom, just like the tattoo glows on your arm and it just ricochets full of Superman style off of your chest. How cool, it works.
Great way to check, I guess.
It wouldn't have killed you if it hadn't worked.
I have no retort. Shall we go?
What's the matter, Scotty? I thought you were all about the experiment. And she playfully flicks you on the...
Touche.
Alright, you all gather your things, climb astride the manticores once more, and one after the other.
Can I do something before we leave?
Yes, you can. What would you like to do?
I would like to go over to Pyrrha's body.
Okay, there isn't much of it left, and at this point in time, the bugs have started to find it. As you may recall from last time, there was a incident right at the end that...
You just said words and I didn't understand them.
That couldn't have been more uncanny. But yeah, some sort of unknown entity caused Pyrrha's body to bloom like a flower, like a gross, bloody, organy flower. So there's just this spread that once was Pyrrha on the ground.
Can I try and find a skull?
So her head is relatively intact. It's only been 12 hours or so, or 24-ish hours or so, so you're, easy enough, her head is still there, it's just that it's the rest of it that's, spread out. Disseminated. It's the rest of her body that's been disseminated over about 10 feet of area.
Okay, I will first of all send a message to Xanthia if she's far away from me to come over to the body and assist me.
Depends. Would you guys have set up camp a ways away from the fight scene site, or would it have been nearby?
I don't think it would have been miles and miles away.
We meet up with the Leonin and the Manticores. I don't think they were super close to the fight.
They weren't
Yeah,
super close, but you could have
That's a
called
good
them
point.
to you guys as
Yeah.
opposed to necessarily going back to them, so it'd be your call. But either way, so whether it's through message or through just yelling, it is easy enough to call Xanthia to you.
Cool. So I'm about to do something. It might be a little bit stupid, but I thought I'd give it a go and, you know, get back up. And I will sit down and I will cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
already there with you? Or
I
it's on my
forgot you
way
had.
while you're
You,
starting?
question: are you casting it as a cleric spell, or are you using the stone speaker crystal?
Stone speaker.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen this, Santhi. You might have. So no, you haven't actually, because she got it after you. You watch as Helena pulls out this. It's got the length of a rod almost, but it's like a long shard of quartz. It's one of those crystal shards that almost is oblongular and then has like the points at the end as opposed to being tapering. So it's almost like a cylinder that comes to just like sharp points at the end, almost like those Fortress of Solitude crystals in the like Superman 2 kind of thing. And she just taps the body and just recites the enchantment, and boom, and you watch as Pira's just the like echo of her last scream still etched on her face all of a sudden.
Welcome back. So, you're dead. Yay! We did have a few questions though. So, like, what was your mission?
Reach the heart.
Why Baragon?
The strong could withstand the power of ether.
Psst, Cynthia. I think Pila just called Baragon weak. Like, that was kind of fun. I like that. Any usuals? Do you have any questions, Cynthia?
What were you trying to do at the heart?
Good one. What were you trying to do at the heart?
I need to think for a moment because she's under no obligation to be truthful, but
Nope.
so I'm trying. At the same time, she wouldn't necessarily outright lie. She smiles for a moment. Free Timora.
Yeah, no, that meant nothing to me.
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, that was 1, 2, 3. So I have 2 more. Okay, so like girl to girl, did you sleep with Baragon?
Is that the question you're asking?
Sure.
You're spending too much time with Bacchus. Oh god.
Just double checking. Is this a bit or is this the actual question you ask?
No, she asked the question.
Do it. Let the smut flow through you.
Scotinus is very proud of you.
I'm so proud. My little Hilera is getting the way. She is learning that way.
What's the matter? Afraid of the thought? And she flashes you like a, oh yeah, grin.
It's kind of nasty. Do you think she knows he likes to kill women, especially wives? Like, ugh. Okay, well, to each their own. We don't kink shame.
Okay, you
Do
have
you
a...
have any more questions? Thunder.
Still trying to make sense of what she meant with with her answer to the third question.
Yeah.
She she as you say that she's like
Maybe can you ask about the connection to Bithynia, how she was able to hurt her through scrying?
Bithynia? Wait, did she hurt Bithynia?
she hurt
Was-
Hilira.
Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry. Long day. How she was able to hurt you through scrying?
I have a question. We can ask her who her god is. Because she had that weird simple thing. With the faces and like the spooky stuff.
Yes, go for it.
Oh, now I wish I didn't waste my sleep together question because I have another. Ah, darn it. Okay. Yeah. Um. What gods do you serve?
Timora, goddess of madness.
Checks out.
The betrayed one. You ever wonder why there is no knowledge on the winter's heart? Why the gods you trust so dearly deny its existence, or turn away in shame at any question. You're a fool. And then she falls back and the body becomes lifeless once more.
Cool. So now we know they slept together. Let's go back to the group.
I don't know why that was the most important thing you could ask, but
Well,
sure.
I was debating on like sleeping question because I was just kind of curious, and then the other one was, what was your childhood like? Like just to like, ooh, you can get really riveting things about the people sleep with. Oh, that was confusing. Anyways,
Sure. Quick question though. Should we tell Amalia about this? About this question? I mean, the rest of it, yes, but
maybe if it comes up organically. If it comes up organically in the conversation.
I will never hear that sentence without thinking about Chevy Chase and Community.
Anyway,
Okay.
I got enough juice to also ask Baragon if we want.
Oh yeah, because that thing can cast Speak with Dead at will. I forgot about that.
Is there enough left of him for that?
I only need a skull.
I mean, ask Amalia. I think she might have it.
Didn't she burn him?
Yeah, but like, you know, you can't really.
She took no, but
burn
she specifically removed his head as well. Remember that.
Yeah.
Amalia's very smart.
His head is untouched, by the way, if you're just wondering. I just took the main.
But you burned the rest of him, right? Head included. You didn't take his head away.
No, I took his head away.
Alright.
His body's burnt, but I have his head.
Did you flay his entire head or just the scalp?
Like, I beheaded him.
Yeah, but did you... Okay, I'm gonna say it's just the scalp. So, a much bolder Baragon greets you if you ask Amalia about that.
Yeah, I will put my arm out like we did the first time we met, Cynthia. And I
Oh,
will
yeah.
skip away.
Yeah, you guys succeeded on a stealth check while skipping, and I will never get over that.
Okay, so we will skip back to camp, and then I'll go, Amalia! Amalia, I have a question.
Okay. What's the question?
So I just talked to Pirna over there. We had a really lovely conversation. Xanthia was there as well. And I thought maybe I could talk to your dad.
Wait, did you? She's dead. So
Yeah,
how
I
would...
know. Well, I brought her head back to life, and then she died again.
Okay. Turns around, grabs his head, puts his head on the floor, like between them.
So in the hot Oresco sun, it's winter, but it's still, you know, like a savanna type valley. It's kind of like the skin's kind of like receded slightly, so it's like, yeah. Like, you get to think that if he could still talk naturally, he'd be talking like this. It's got slight Seven vibes.
Make him roleplay that. I want to hear a whole scene with him talking like that, please.
Okay. I will cast Speak with Dead.
Yes! I'm so about this.
Oh God.
So, how you doing?
What's your question?
Me? Oh yeah, I'm fan-fucking-fastic. Nothing but gumdrops and ice cream over here.
You look great.
You don't hear a thing, you just see, Hidera talking to your dad's dead face.
Well, so, Barry. I'm gonna call you Barry. You know, you're dead, so
That's another
nobody
question.
really cares about
but
your nickname.
it's two.
That's two of your
Oh.
Sounds as if you're trying to get his personal information. Like, you're going to ask him what his mother's maiden name was. What his first
Okay,
name was.
so I'm going to make liberal use of this emoji right now.
Yeah. Agreed.
This time it wasn't on purpose.
Okay, so you have 3 questions left.
Yeah. Okay. So Barry, I just want to know, like, what was your mission? What was your goal?
Reach the diamond crown.
I didn't think you were a crown person. Interesting. Okay. 1 second. Amalia, do you have any questions?
I have one. Where did he put my mother when he killed her?
Okay. So, what's your mom's name?
What's my mother's name?
No, that is not how this works.
I never named her though. So
I did more than once.
You could always say Amalia's mother. That could you
That's
might get
my
away with it that way.
mom's name.
Listen, I will happily refresh you guys on bits and bobs, but your fucking mother's name?
I never named her. I always just called her Mama.
You've heard me use her real name more than once.
Well, I'm very sorry, but I did not note it down.
And that's quite alright. There isn't a grudge here per se. I'm just not necessarily about to,
You've just forgotten your mother's name, that's all.
think of this as a
It's fine, it's okay.
think of this as a
It's all good.
teachable moment. Did anybody write down her mother's name?
I don't think I know it. I would have written it
I'm
down.
looking through my notes, but they're very disorganized.
You know what, Amalia? Roll a d20. Also, make an intelligence check. Make a history check. I'm the generous god. I'll let you make a history check if you're proficient, which I know you're not.
What am I making? A history check.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god!
Do not tell me.
The dice have offered a reprise. Do not squander it.
You know, I'm not using physical dice. You can see what it is on D&D.
No, that's true. I don't know that there's an emoji that encapsulates what I'm going through right now.
Oh, I said I'm a lucky
You know what?
person. I think
That's as close as I can get. It was Ziore. Or Ziori. Ziore. Ziore Dustcrawler. Matriarch of the Dustcrawlers.
I'm just gonna write that down for future reference.
I want it tattooed on
Why
the
have you
underside
not
of your
written it down
eyelids.
before?
So wait, you want to know where her body is, not why he killed her? Just checking.
Well, I know why he killed her. He was mad at her at the time. I just want to know where she lies.
Okay. So,
Before we leave, I want to visit her.
okay, so Barry, your daughter really wants to visit her mom, so like, where'd you bury her?
Hard to keep up appearances. She was laid to rest in the ash grove.
Okay.
Alongside our ancestors.
Cool. I'm really proud of you, Barry. You did one thing right. Actually, two things. I think, Amalia, you did pretty right, even though you kind of fucked her up a little bit. You did right with that, so there you go, Barry. We have one more question. Like, what one?
I don't know. Popping your skull like a ripe walnut felt pretty right to me, too.
Oh, fuck. Shots fired. Okay.
One more thing to ask him. What did he exactly tell people when I disappeared?
So, Barry, what you tell people about Amalia and why she was a gun?
A shadowy fiend. Some form of Oneroi. Snuck in. Gored Ziore. Dragged Amalia off into the night. A tragic tale. To garner sympathy. Make him easier to manipulate. They all believed it. They were in mourning. And, unless I counted wrong,
That's fine.
That was all.
Still, I'm proud of her in a way. The ferocity she showed is commendable. I should have hunted her down long ago. And he dies as well,
No,
was in.
Barry. You're a bad dad. You.
You throw the skull, though you throw the head?
No, that's for Amalia to do. I just very quickly say that he's a bad dad.
Bithynia says, Amalia, do you have any use for his actual head? Oh, sorry, I was tabbed out. Did you shake your head? Because I wasn't looking at the at your camera right now, Amalia.
No, I was muted, so I was like, oh no.
Okay. Do you mind if I?
Yeah, sure, you can do whatever you want. I was still trying to figure out what to do exactly with his head, but yeah. And then she sort of like kicks it like a football to Bithynia.
Bithynia picks it up. Tosses it to you, Bakios. Hey, big guy, how's your throwing arm? And she holds out her hand, in like a open palm style.
I would like to go over to the Manticores and find which one's Bruticus.
No.
Oh.
Pull!
Oh, okay.
And in quick succession, as it gains an impossibly high altitude as you yeet it into oblivion, Bithynia quickly, boom, and like fires out her Eldritch Blast, and it catches it full on center, and much like a clay disc, like a clay pigeon, and just you see little fragments scatter into the oblivion, and you're not quite sure where they landed.
Dad!
Scortinus bounds out of his bed and comes out going, "What's happened? What? Someone set off fireworks? Why do I smell burning?"
Kind of,
Well, it is a
kind of
cause for
fireworks.
celebration, put it that way, Scotty.
The goriest fireworks you've never seen.
Oh.
That was fucking sick.
Bithynia full on just... And if the Eldritch Blast Bithynia emoji were not currently under review, I would happily use that one, but alas. Right, that was for a just real quick before we take off. That was that went quite far. I'm quite pleased with that. Just 1 second. I'll ask for a moment's patience. Ah, there we go. As a final note, you guys do watch as so you're getting ready to settle everything up, but you see just something slightly in the distance, you know, round about where the fight transpired. And it just like this little like it seems to be just about the size of a coin purse. It just floats through the air towards you guys. And as it comes to stop in front of you guys, you see a small little mote of gusty wind that sort of just stands aloft on itself, almost like a little spinning top of air. I'll see if I have artwork of it. Yes. 1 second. That's not. Draw shift. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, 2 seconds, like literally 2 seconds. SPC desktop save. So I'm going to be popping that in the Legend Keeper thing, and I'll make that visible after a moment's time. Copy. For the players. Players board. Okay, so I'll tab out the visual there, and for crying out. Nope. Damn it, that's not how that works. Sorry about this, guys.
I just realised from where this currently is, and just from the back of GM's head, it looks like you are wearing the world's tiniest top hat.
Oh, I gotta get rid of that thing.
Oh my god, yes.
Desktop. So sorry for this delay, everybody. I select. Cool. So that is what you guys see. This little. It just flitters up to you in particular, Amalia. And after a moment, you just in your mind are inundated with, it feels like almost like a telepathic message, but it's just a feeling of gratitude. And then a moment later, it flitters off. And other than that, you guys are free to mount up on the manticores once more.
I give Bruticus a bit of a towels around the back of the ear and a scratch under the chin. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
He does like what he thinks is a playful, like a puppy bite, but you do take 1 point of piercing damage because he's a fucking manticore.
I'll take it.
But yeah, one after the other, you all fly off into the sky now. They will be heading back to Tethmos to park, for lack of a better term. But when that is all said and done, they will be able to, you'll be free to go about your business from there. So, now, I'll try it and see if this works, but it may not necessarily be possible just yet. I would like to invite anyone who has the drachmi. Now, this will be for the entire journey. I'm not going to do random encounters for each day. We're going to do one for everything, just to be a bit... You know, you find more favorable conditions, so the first day is, normal night of rest and all that. But for the entire journey, I'll do a singular one. I will invite anybody who has the drachmi in chat is free to click the Roll for Random Encounter tab, and it will initiate a random encounter.
A lot of drachmi, dude. 10k.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I figured as much. I just thought I'd double check in case someone somehow had already amassed that amount and I didn't program the rewards correctly. That is totally fair.
Till next
No, that's
time.
I may review exactly how much that cost. I thought 10k was appropriate because it's literally participating in the game, but I may revise that going forward. But very well. Short of that, I will ask a volunteer from my players to roll a d20.
Do it. Last time I rolled, I got a nat 1 and got us the rock. Like, no.
I'll volunteer as tribute. I'll do it. 12.
Okay, because I was hoping you'd roll on that one as well.
That'd be great. I was so excited if you did.
And you thought you'd seen the last of me?
Surprise, bitch.
Basically. Okay, 1 second. Huh. So, you guys, fly relatively low to the ground at this point in time, actually. Not like low, but like 200 feet as opposed to half a mile up as you had previously. And on the second day, as you pass through just a field of grassy, sort of golden grass that you scan closely and seems to be just naturally occurring field of barley. You see just like out of character, like in the Lost World, when you see like those disturbances in the grass of the velociraptors, as in it's like you just see just breaks in the grass like that.
Sorry, describe that again if you don't mind.
So you're seeing you're passing over a plain of tall grass, like a sort of wide expanse of tall grass, and you see like just ripples and disturbances in the grass as if something that's hidden from you guys but is sort of moving the grass as they move through it is traveling in that direction, and it's moving relatively quickly.
I'm gonna try and crawl closer to the rider. Realizing that it's really difficult to move from where I'm sat, and go, let's see what's down there.
You sure?
Well, we can do it high enough, right?
All right, and he boom, and he dives. Does anybody follow?
Oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Bruticus, below.
One after the other. You all boom, 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 touch down on the grass, and you see these disturbances in the grass seem to be coming closer towards you guys at this point. And so you're kind of at the height that this is. Sorry, at the height the grass is on the backs of the manticores, you're kind of just like poking above the tall grass at this level here. But as you see the disturbances get between 30, 25, 20, 15 feet, at about 15 feet, you watch as sort of like it sort of seems, the grass seems to part. And it's sort of like rising out of it, you see 3 humanoid women. Stunningly beautiful. Basically nude entirely, but what catches you is the hair upon their head. Or one of them, it seems to simply be a series of pale golden leaves that cascade down her back. In almost like going past her waist, and just this enormous mane of golden leaf hair. Another one has something similar, but it seems to be more like the most perfectly golden hay you've ever seen. It's sort of got that sort of very delicate swaying breeze to it. They're all sort of human of skin, but yeah, so the one with the golden leaves, the one with the sort of golden straw type of hair. The last one seems to instead simply have, it almost reminds you of a mohawk in that she has this, like, ridge of hair that goes down the center of her head, but this in fact seems to be, similarly to the grass around you, just tall strokes of wheat. They just sort of go down her head in an almost mohawk type fashion, but like someone's mohawk when when they're not gelling it up on the day. It's like the hair is only growing in the center of the head, but it's sort of hanging loosely, almost Natalie Dorner from Hunger Games type of thing, like sort of shaved scalp. Each one of them as well seems to be adorned with a series of golden leaves and different forms of vegetation that remind you of sort of like harvest agriculture. Bithynia pipes in. You're Alcides, aren't you? And the three figures smile. Are you friend or foe? And they have a sort of like a discordant voice. Well, not discordant, but it feels ethereal. Scotty, Hilira, and Amalia in particular, you're welcome to make a history check right now.
I shall do. 12.
A solid 9.
Scotty, with a 12, I'll say there is something familiar about the way their voices sort of ring out in this sort of almost ethereal harmony. It's definitely greater amongst these ones, but you swear you've heard it before. To a lesser degree. Beneath says, we're friends. I met some of you guys once when I was visiting my friend's aunt on her farm, just outside of Melitis. And he says, Kataropia, yes, I'm familiar with that farm, yes. And Bithynia says, these are Alcides, guys. Light nymphs, or, plains nymphs. Alcide, Dryad, Naiad, Lampad, Oread. Daxus, I think, is half Oread, and your friend Calliope is half Lampad.
I think I've almost completed the set at this stage. I've seen more half nymphs in the last 2 months than they have most of my life.
Well, these are full nymphs. Yeah, so you recall that at this point, both Calliope, Daxos, Eudokia, and Defili all have a fainter harmony to their voices that seems to be sort of unnatural. But both in this case and when you ran across that dryad way back when.
Yes.
This in this instance, it's greater. You understand the difference when one is half human as opposed to like the real deal, basically. And these are, as in, it's not like these are not half nymphs. They are straight up nymphs of light and plains.
I don't think it was Scotty that met the dryad, but I know what you mean.
Okay, my bad.
But yes, but there's probably enough from that just for Scotty to kind of go.
And with that reminder as well, you would know, and all of you would know, Alcides in particular are the friendliest of the nymphs, for lack of a better term. They'll regularly sort of alight near agricultural communities and farms and gentle and friendly townships who will leave them offerings in exchange for bountiful harvests. They are, again, for lack of a better term, the most domestic of nymph kind. They're the most approachable. And it's not, as you sort of remark on the half-nymph comment, nymphs themselves aren't necessarily the rarest sight in existence. They aren't like dime a dozen or anything, but they can be spotted, amongst the forests or the seas where they might alight. In the same way, out of character, one might, on a sea voyage, oh look, dolphins! That's neat.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You look weary. Are you hungry? One of them casually strides, and you wager she's either enormously tall or is somehow levitating right now, or maybe just seems to be striding on the grass, on top of the grass in a way that you're not sure how. But, just like from her knees below is beneath the grass. Everything else is sort of like floating above, and she just comes up and they all just wave their hands and the grass parts slightly, clearing everything, allowing you guys some amount of clarity as to your surroundings. About like a 50-foot area of the grass seems to be just shunted. And one of them approaches Bruticus. who's like, such a fierce guardian. And she just very casually, like, holds her hand out, and in just the most gentle way, rests her hand on his snout. The Leonin sort of, like, freaks for a second, thinking that she's about to lose the hand, but Bruthicus just... and just closes his eyes, and she, like, nuzzles his head as well. You all feel a feeling of great peace right now. Not like... it's not magical or anything, you're just... you know when someone has, like, a vibe about them that is just infectious? It's like that, but it's just... they are so peaceful and pleasant that you can't help but feel a little peaceful and pleasant by proxy. Are you hungry?
Well, I could eat. I could always eat. Also, how did you do that to the big boy Bruty here?
Just approached him as a friend is all.
Oh, you're good.
Good intentions will invariably seep through. Remember that.
But yeah, I could definitely go for some steak and some wine and some steak.
You may be slightly disappointed, but I hope we can still accommodate. And the three of them together just sort of do like a motion, and they just almost like tap the ground together, and you see their hands seem to the fingers seem to elongate almost like roots into the ground. And then all of a sudden, like these plants and trees begin to grow out of the ground suddenly and rapidly around you guys. And each one blooms into a different kind of vegetation, like heaving with fruits and vegetables and just the freshest produce ever imaginable. You one of them in particular just sprouts a smallish, about 3 meters tall, but heaving with ripe fruit pomegranate tree. Another one is just a beautiful apple tree, freshest, largest grapes off of the vine. With you, Barkios, in particular, one of them, the one with the mohawk, just strokes the ground almost, and as she moves her hand behind her, almost like a trail, like the largest, thickest mushrooms you've ever seen, just sprout in just a full-on trail, like across the ground where she moves her hand, and each one ends up being sort of about this size in diameter. And she, if you have the means to cook, you might think of these as a big rubbery steak.
Can I determine, just on looking at these, whether or not they're poisonous or not?
Make a nature check.
Oh god, that is not my best skill.
I feel like this is gonna be
Oh,
the floor is made out of floor moment.
11.
Okay, it's not terrible, so you don't, like... I'll just say you don't know. Not in like a, you're not dumbfounded or anything, but with an 11 you simply don't have the training per se.
The mushrooms haven't been laid out in an ominous semicircle that we would stand in between, right? Okay, cool, that's alright.
So the mushrooms themselves,
checking.
I'll clarify, they have this sort of like pale cream color to them with lots of little ridges on the inside. I'll see if I can find a visual aid. Do apologize. Okay, perfect. So this is an illustration. But, this is, what they look like. Player's board. This player's board is really good. Oh, wrong button. That's the wrong button again. So yeah, players will also be able to see what they look like. So that's what they look like. Bithynia's going to roll a nature check of her own.
I think Scotinus is going to, while this is all going, he's going to bring out one of his daggers and he's going to carefully cut a couple of them. Not all of them, but he's going to cut a couple of the mushrooms. And nod, Griffon go, I have no means to cook these.
Bithynia rolled
yet.
a nat 1.
Oh dear.
I really should have paid more attention in botany class. It was the one thing I found super boring back at school.
Well, at least you know you've got mushroom for improvement.
The three Alcides, like, begin genuinely laughing mirthfully. One of them simply says, "You are our guest. We wouldn't dream of harming you."
I'm convinced. I immediately start picking the mushrooms. Jump operators goes immediately start picking the mushrooms. And look around for a good place to start a big fire. Clear the ground a bit, get a good stew pot going because I could eat.
Yep. I'll pop the iron pot that I used to brew the potion, which has now been cleaned, and I'm kind of got to get that on top of the heat. I think I'm going to attempt to see if we can kind of like almost make some kind of like soup, but just to see how it works. I'll also skewer a couple of the mushrooms onto a stick, and I'm just going to see if mushroom marshmallows are a thing. I don't know.
They do start to grill up quite nicely. One of the Alcides offers a suggestion that, like just straight up pan frying them is more effective.
Yes,
You're the expert. Let's get a pan on this bad boy and let's fry these bad boys up.
And we attempt to very poorly cook.
The Leonin offer to help out.
Yep.
I advocate all responsibility as soon as someone offers. You can use the pot. I'm not very good at this.
And
here you go, handing a stick with a mushroom on it.
So one of the Leonin actually is able to identify the mushrooms. Oh. Well, most people who don't live in a big city call these drumstick mushrooms. And pulls up so one of the ones that hasn't bloomed fully like you see in the picture does resemble like a timpani drumstick. Almost, because it's like sort of bulbous in head. But I think I heard some city folk call it a parasol mushroom once. And yeah, out of character, our parasol mushroom is a real mushroom. I know them to be native to the mountains of Italy, but I'm sure they grow other places as well. They're quite tasty. And the beauty is they grow to be like full on, like as large as frisbees. It's a little.
I'm pretty
fun
sure.
fact.
I'm pretty sure I've seen someone that has quite literally made steaks out of them at food festival.
And yeah, you guys do. You are able to basically make these giant ass mushroom steaks. And yeah, as you guys sit down for a very pleasant, very relaxing, and delightful lunch. Yeah, edible plates, you're right, yes. The Leonin are able to provide some more axe-beak chicken. And so they are able to sort of mix that all in and sort of just make that all work. The Alcides, just at one point, if you look especially dejected, Bakios, just say that they're not like vegan or anything necessarily. They simply don't have the power to make meat grow out of the ground.
I mean, is that can't or won't? I mean,
Tell you what, If you figure out a way for us to do that, let us know, and you'll be the first to sample our creations.
Oh, hell yeah. I will find you and I will teach you.
If you say that your epilogue is spent doing this, I will have you be eaten by a giant butterfly. I'm kidding.
Worth it. Worth it.
So yeah, a delightful lunch is had by all, and the outsides again, just the pleasantness of it all is incredibly infectious, and you all feel just it's like the opposite of a Dementor. They seem to just inject joy and just a love of life, and just the very warm wind on your face being a delight. Just that kind of outlook. They just seem to naturally seep it. One of them, the one with the sort of long straw hair, maybe, again, feel free to not necessarily yes and this, Virla, but she catches you, a little distracted, and she comes up to you. Are you alright, my dear?
Yeah, I'm just looking at your trees.
These ones won't last long, but I know what you mean. These are, even just temporary constructs like these can be quite beautiful. The beauty of the innate, you know? What is every raindrop, every heave of the soil that sprouted something like something like this, others like it. She just sort of reaches up and plucks a just baseball-sized pomegranate and just hands it to you. That something like this could just grow in nature. She grabs one of her and just peels it, and in not really taking care necessarily to eat in like a dainty way, she full on just, she gets like the full red ring. If it's worth eating, it's worth eating messily.
True. You live around here.
This is our field. This is our grove. Our grove is the wrong word, I say, our character. This is our plain. We are charged with overseeing its life and nourishment. There are some of the tribes here, some of the prides here, who will occasionally grace us with offerings and other discreet considerations and gestures in exchange for the kind of bounty that may that may complement a good hunt. Can't have meat and potatoes without the potatoes, right?
I guess. Have you ever wanted to just go?
That's the beauty. I can. I am free to leave this field. I am free to stalk the plains and rush across these fields. As long as the plain remains standing and nourished and healthy, how I go about that is charged to me, or charged to us. As for setting my sights beyond this valley, I suppose at times I am curious, but only passingly so. This valley is mine to do with as I wish. I choose not to stray so too far, because my purpose is keeping this place safe. And that's all right. That's all right for me, but, I'm me. I'm not you. My kind, by our nature, are drawn to putting down our roots. My more watery cousins are far more taken by the notion of wanderlust being as ever-changing and unpredictable as the sea itself. And, should you survive the encounter, I bet Noriad could offer some words and wisdom on eternal change. They can be as volatile as a volcano itself. Why do you ask?
It's just. Didn't want to go home. And now I don't know.
I understand. Uncertainty is very frightening. I should know. My outsides are as certain as a nymph can be. We like the comfort of the plains. But that is my path. It is not everybody's path, and comfort in too much of a quantity can become rigid and stale. If it is conflict you fear, as if I might so be bold as to guess, I would simply say, and I apologize if this is of no use at all, but I don't know that there exists any resolution without conflict. No matter how bad it gets, know that it too will pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. Thought I'd get more out of that last line, I'll be honest. I'm sorry if that's not of any use to you. I can tell you are a strong woman. I have no doubt that whatever path you choose, you will make the best of it. Now, eat up. No matter what happens, you'll get nowhere on an empty stomach. And she just takes your hand in hers, and then just does almost like a sleight of hand motion, and you just watch sprouting from her palm just a large pile of the freshest, juiciest figs you have ever seen.
Yeah.
They're like 10 big ones.
Nice.
And you both return to join the others. Yeah, you try one, and they are perfect.
Oh. I will share with the group.
Oh, these are delicious and moist.
Please, never use that word again. And you realize that's Clothis saying that, not the us.
I didn't know there was a word powerful enough to irritate even the gods.
I don't know that the Chained Oblivion himself would not be irritated by the word moist.
I always thought quiche balance, like step, like kind of treaded that fine line as well.
Or a moist quiche.
Owned by someone called Keith.
Oh,
I will
no.
fucking murder all of you. Okay. Unless anybody wishes to do anything else as part of this,
No.
you all climb astride the manticores once more. The outsides wave goodbye to you all. They nod, just wishing you well on your journey, and one by one, you all gather up again once more and sail off. Well, not sail, and soar off. A few days pass by without, the rest of the journey pass by relatively without event. I will say, just for fun, I'm gonna roll a d6 and do a thing.
1d6 rocks.
Amalia, make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, if you're within 10 feet of me, please add a d4.
She is
No,
not
wait,
within
it's
10 feet of you
straight
at this time.
No!
It's a good roll.
It might be okay because I rolled a 19.
Okay. So, the oncoming bird that you didn't see does not, like, explode against your face with the speed you guys are flying at. You sort of catch it at the last second, you just move your head, and it moves. And you avoid having a sparrow explode in your face.
That's good.
Full-on windshield style.
That's not nice.
No respect for airspace.
Like, watch where you're flying. Why would you fly into
You
my face?
swear you hear a teeny tiny avian voice say, "I'm walking here!" But in any case, at the end of the few days' journey back, you all see the familiar sight of Tethmos. And its various different, just sort of cacophonies or sort of menageries of tapestries and drapes on the outside of these buildings that form the, from the aerial view, from an aerial view, you notice it looks like the world's biggest blanket fort, kind of. So just the drapes as well as part of the buildings all comes together to give it a beautiful, colorful look. But you all come into land, touch down on the in the rookery. The manticores, not like exhausted or anything, but definitely in need of a good relax for the next bit, are quickly desaddled. Galratha is there to greet you, actually, the Matriarch who was the one who kindly loaned you the use of these manticores. I'm pleased to find you've all returned. Did you succeed?
Scotinos kind of thumbs a direction towards Amalia.
Amalia?
Hi.
Have you been paying attention to everything that's just happened?
I'm kind of still in my own world right now. I'm not really paying attention, if I'm being honest.
Was Amalia saying that, or...
Yeah, no, that's Amalia.
Okay. Did you succeed? Is he dead?
You can see what's on my neck, right?
I didn't know if it was still
little-
on your neck.
So, sorry, that's what I was pointing towards. Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I can't say that I blame you. Good. Your pride will want to see that, Amalia. They're here.
Oh, of course, yes. There were some that were being unfrozen, or unpetrified.
They've gathered everyone who's left, and with a little good word on behalf of them put in by a Johnny, and an explanation from them proper, they have been allowed into the fold once more. The Duskcaller Pride has had their excommunication rescinded.
At least that's one good thing that happened throughout all this. I'm gonna go check on Rorak, make sure his sister's okay.
You've done well. I may not speak for all of my kind, but I share Brima's Sunstrider. No, sorry, I forgot his name, so forget that. But I share Brima's ambitions for our people to be more than divided tribes, for us to take our place in Theros. I know my fellow matriarchs and kin may not always feel the same way, but know you have a friend in the Wild-Tooth Pride whenever you are in these lands.
Thank you, we appreciate it. And if you ever need anything, I think it's safe to say me and my party will be there for you too.
Walk in harmony. Walk in harmony, Amalia Duskcrawler. Just gives you a nod, and unless you say anything, we'll go to aid her people in tending to the manticores.
We're getting friends of all sorts of families around the lands, aren't we?
I think it's because we help them out.
Nobusrath, Nestus of the Boar, Wildtooth Tribe. If we ever need, we're starting to build up quite a following of allies.
That is true. I'm gonna go check on Rorak. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, all right. And then he kind of just gets out of the way and lets you travel.
Okay, does anybody go with Amalia, or just before we get to that encounter, what is everybody doing?
Nothing comes to mind.
No, I think I may need to replenish my supply of rations. But
Same. Well,
really,
including
yeah.
focused on the wine aspect, but apart from that, I'm good.
I mean, they're both forms of things that we ingest for some form of sustenance. So we're on Operation Sustenance. So we'll probably do that and end up drunk somewhere.
Easy enough to do. You actually come across that bardic Leonin pride that Amalia was making wine with that you bought off of. Just by chance, they're still in town, and they relish the prospect of drinking humans and satyrs satyrs under the table, and will welcome you for a bit of day drinking.
I shall allow myself to get drunk, so I can then use my Phineas's great wand of power, and start messing around with the spells that I can use with that.
Oh yeah, because those only work if you're drunk. I love that
Correct.
item.
So if everyone
He can
who's
cast.
aware, both of us.
This wand is not in attune and lets him cast heroism. Which other spells?
Heroism, Lesson Restoration, or Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy doesn't use any charges. Heroism uses 1. Lesson Restoration uses 2. But I can only use it when I'm drunk.
Yeah, so the caveat is he has to be shit-faced for it to work.
Yep.
And it only looks like a magic wand when he's shit-faced. The rest of the time it looks like a stick.
Yep. Although you can tell what it is now because it's got the skull of a kobold stuck on the end of it, and that is Clancy. Yes, that's where we end. We end up somewhere drunk.
Yeah. Easy enough to do, and they are just enraptured by this wand of Clancy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Xanthia and Hilira, are you looking to do anything?
Yeah. Is there anything you want to do?
I don't really know. You want to go dancing?
Dancing. It's the middle of the day.
So the boys are drinking. Why can't we go dancing?
If there's drinks there, then yes. Okay, sure. Let's go dancing.
Okay, I will.
And I go
Okay, one of you make an investigation check. One of you can roll with advantage, or you can both roll.
Mine is very bad.
Mine is +0.
Well, we went to the Black Paw before, and that's where Scotinas and I danced.
I'm probably singing using Thaumaturgy, so I'm hopefully going to be easier to identify where I am. I'm probably halfway through the. I'm probably halfway through the.
So you're back
song lamenting the loss of the late chieftain of the tribe that we may have just killed maybe a couple of days ago.
You can go back to the Black Paw if you like, absolutely. So, Scotty, you and Buckios are back at the house, the home of this Leonin Pride, so it's more like a backyard cookout as opposed to, like a backyard barbecue as opposed to, like, a night on the town, like a tavern thing. So you guys come to the, Black Paw, and there's a couple people drinking in there, or just, like, having meals and things like that, but it's clearly, like, middle of the day terrain. However, I will ask Hilira in particular, roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh man, why can't I roll the persuasion check?
I'll let you, Xanthi, I'll let you roll it as well. Roll separate persuasion checks.
18.
Hold on. Modified 20.
Nice.
Okay, I will say with all of that, you come across a, there's like this one, tall and fairly lanky male Leonin with, it's not, so, it's a full mane, but it's clear that he's young in that it's not necessarily billowing or black like a adult with many, many years, of experience upon him, but, he does have, let me think. he does have this sort of like navy blue tunic upon him that it's elements of it remind you of Rorax in terms of it feels like sort of practical ranger type attire, except his has like a navy blue coloration and a insignia which is in the shape of an, so it, when you concentrate for a moment, it does look like an eye, but it's basically just like the basic shape with like a single line down the center. And like at the request to dance, he's like, he is so intrigued by the prospect of a Triton and a human wanting to dance that he basically like gets like 10 or 12 of his friends to come, and they like literally manage to like get the ball rolling together just because they're just so curious as to what the like hell is gonna happen. And so they were like, yeah, no, I want to see how this plays out. So they straight up start a midday party in this place. And they will happily teach you Leonin dances or just watch you guys do your thing.
I want to learn some Leonin dances.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same.
They're quite not aggressive, but elements of it are almost haka-like in certain sense. Like it's a cross between like a haka and like not line dancing, but what's the word? Like barn dancing in terms of like, you know, back and forth, very sort of physical, and it's like a slightly less, no, not less violent per se, but it's like a mosh pit, but like a real like a country mosh pit is the best way I can describe it. Like a tribal mosh pit, and there is definitely synchronization to it all. It's not mindless back and forthing. Xanthia, you are, well, both of you really, given your size and given that these are gigantic lion folk, you're definitely taken for a ride right now as opposed to being like directed per se, but they make sure to steer you guys directly, and best way I can describe it, it's like a tango except between two people, it's between 20. Like everyone sort of bobs and weaves. Yeah, it's like if tango and a mosh pit made a baby. It's sort of, they like bob and weave between each other, and you know, there's synchronization to it all. They stop and then they reverse the same chaotic movement they did before. It's interesting. There is sophistication and just raw beauty in its primal aggression. But it's not mindless. The purpose of it all, just, you are quite taken by it all. You especially, Xanthia, as someone who, suffice to say, isn't necessarily known for letting their hair down, per se, figure of speech, the opportunity to just cut loose and just express is welcome. Now, while all that's going down, Amalia, you ask around a little bit, and you find out that for the moment, although it will be expected to be vacated soon enough, one of the not currently occupied residences has been made available for the remainder of the Duskcrawler Pride. And you touch base with Nazros again, just long enough that he points you to the right direction, and traveling through, you come across it eventually, and you can tell it's the one, because it's far more bare compared to the other stone structures. All of the other ones have different, almost like sails, tapestries, reflecting the Pride's history and culture and values just draped across it. The one that seems to clearly belong to the Duskcrawler Pride, at least for the moment, has almost nothing on it, save for one or two bits that may have been left over that you gather may have been propped up in an attempt to feel something close to normal. to try and not necessarily stand out too much. But the building is there.
Knock.
You knock, and the door very cautiously swings open, and Rorak peeks his head out. His eyes widen, and he just flings the door aside and pulls you into a massive hug.
Stranger.
And whilst he's without breaking the hug, he just says to you into your ear, "Is it done?"
Oh, it's done.
And you just feel just gentle, rapid breaths, and you realize for a moment he's allowing himself to just cry in relief, just if only for a moment. And he says, "Sorry."
You don't need to say sorry, it's fine. How's your sister doing?
Well, she is coming to grips with it all. I think we all are.
And the ones that were frozen, are they okay?
They took some persuading, but when everything was said and done, the evidence was overwhelming there. Not all of them are doing too good, to be honest. It's not easy to come back from living your whole life, or almost all of it, under a lie.
It's true.
You should come in. They'll want to see you. All of them. Ready to meet your family
Oh.
again. Your first family, at least.
You know, I never considered you guys my family, to be honest. My mother was my family.
Amalia, I know even the mere sight of me is a sore memory. I know you left all that behind.
I know.
And
you
I
didn't say
might
sorry.
have done the same thing if I were in your shoes, but we
You
weren't.
don't need to say anything, it's fine. I'll come in and
No,
say
I
hi.
feel like I do because we were family once upon a time. We grew up together.
Rorak, you grew into a family that loved you. I grew into a family that hated me.
Our pride is our entire family. Now, I know Baragon was a monster, but I loved you. Sira loved you. Ziptis loved you. Tyron loved you. And they still do. They just need the chance. You were lied to, Amalia. We all were.
I just... Is everyone here now?
He nods, and he just steps aside, allowing you to step through should you wish.
Okay. Steps in and just sort of looks at him and nods.
He nods as well. Sort of just glances at the war spikes slung across your back. You always did prefer axes, but they suit you.
He actually came in handy when my axe wasn't, used. So thanks.
They always were. The pride of the Dust Crawlers, their invention and their application, but I'll spare you that conversation for another time. And he just leads you through the small antechamber, and you come to a sort of large living room setup that, again, it very much feels like a peoples with very little have just tried to make the most of the space. They've tried to fill it out as much as possible with what little they've got left, but even all it's kind of resulted in is just everything kind of being so like separated and apart that it kind of almost emphasizes the starkness. But you see maybe 36 Leonin together, sort of just not. There's definitely a somber air to everything, but you know, there's conversations, someone's cracking a joke, children playing. One of them in particular, a little female Leonin with a very familiar little wooden dagger between her teeth, just and then just like pounces, and then just like 3 little girls just like full on. It's like a cartoon brawl with like the cloud that has the limbs flying out of it kind of thing. And so you do see Krisha, Rorak's sister, and the remaining warriors who were restored from being turned to stone. They're all here. But they're the only sort of fighting strength adults that you see. Everyone else are either too young, many by a wide margin, children, or too frail. And it hits you for the moment. This is all that's left. The chatter dies down as they all look your way, and there are many gasps that sort of just ring out throughout. One of them, a very sort of elderly-looking female Leonin with sort of big draped shroud, almost Voldemortian in terms of that gives her the appearance of almost like a shadow figure, just steps forward, blind in one eye, although you don't see any sign of like a scar or anything. It's just blind. Wait. Yeah, sorry, I was blind in one eye, just double checking. And she just sort of puts her hands together. My goodness. You've grown, child. Let me get a look at you. You recognize her. She is Sira, Rorak and Krisha's grandmother. She's older than anyone else here by a wide margin. And she just takes your face in her hands and just sort of almost examines you. It's like, you grew strong. Good. And you return triumphant, I see.
Well, I've been dreaming about killing him for the last 10 years, so...
So have I, child. I am the last of the elder females. I survived by feigning madness. And being the only one who knew the hunting paths best. I never stopped believing you'd return. Never believed Baragon for a second.
If you knew he was lying, why did you stay?
I'm old, dear. Very old. If I spoke out, or if I fled, I'd simply be hunted down. I stayed to try and keep our pride together any way I could. To try and see to it that you might have something to return to one day. And she looks behind at everybody. I fear I failed you. And you see even this elder matriarch, not matriarch per se, but elder female. Just tears well in her eyes.
Does it go like simply not grab her face, but simply like cup her face
Yeah.
and then sort of
And she,
pull the like tears away? You didn't fail me. You just
he took
you
my
have to be
daughter.
there for your family.
He took my daughter from me. Their mother. Any female who could lay claim to the title of matriarch.
I'm sorry I left.
Don't be. If you had stayed, you would have been killed too. And you wouldn't be here today to dispense justice. I hope you suffered.
Oh, he suffered alright. He did put up a fight, but
You see now as
he had
well
one thing.
an elder male. Not quite as old as Sierra, but not far off. His normally black mane has just become sort of like salt and pepper, like wispy kind of white with very little of the black left. He's got sort of like a long goatee, very sort of gaunt, like almost like Scar-ish, but like yeah, like if like Scar and Doc Brown, like kind of like thing. He's like, you recognize him as well. Actually, you recognize all of them one by one. This is Dairon, the Poison Master of the Dustcrawler tribe, or the Dustcrawler Pride. And you recall him as a crotchety, cranky fellow who would love to crack jokes nobody quite gets. But even in this moment, he's just... I'm ashamed to say I believed him. I never agreed with him, but I was mad with grief. And was just glad to have stability. He provided that for a time, but that's no excuse. All I can ask is that you give an old man a chance to say he's sorry.
You don't have to apologize. It's fine. He was always... I wouldn't say he had charisma, but the manipulation he had down, he knew how to get people's minds a little clickety-clack.
And we
That's
always thought it unthinkable he'd do something like what he did. But you're here now. If you give us a chance to make amends, we would like to. All of us. And just one after the other, they all stand. And they look to you, Amalia. The kids even they're sort of hushed and they stop playing for a second, and one of them, like just like a scraggly little girl with sort of like the fur on top of her head is sort of like perked up into almost like a little rascal style mohawk. It's sort of like a very tiny mohawk. Does this mean we can stop hiding now?
Yes, little one, this means you can stop hiding now.
Good. Hiding's boring. And, Sierra says, I can't imagine you might have much love for us. I'm sure we're but a painful memory, a painful reminder, but we would follow you, if you need but say so. We would call you Matriarch.
Way back when my mother was still here. It was a dream of mine. But I have my own family. A chosen family.
She nods. I understand. Please know, if nothing else, we have always thought of you as family. Additionally, of course. No, sorry, that sounds stupid. We have always thought of you as family. And your chosen family may always come first, but you are always welcomed into our hearts and homes. Maybe.
I greatly appreciate that. But you deserve someone who can lead you now, who's there for you, who cares for you. Someone like Rorak, maybe. And she turns and looks at him.
And Rorak just says, no. And he just looks to everyone. This pride has seen enough of patriarchs. I would never dream of being what Paragon was. But our way is to be led by a matriarch. And if that isn't you, maybe it is another, or maybe this is the end of the Duskcrawlers after all. And we might simply be absorbed by another pride. Lord knows it is no less than some of us deserve, but I will not serve as a reminder of what a male has done leading this pride. Any pride.
Look, I know you're angry. You have every reason to be angry. But as a tribe, each and every one of you deserve to choose what you want to do. I can't lead. I won't. Not after what happened 16 years ago. But you need to decide for yourselves what you want. If you want to join another tribe, that's up to you. No one can stop you. If there's anything else you want to do, like go off on your own, that's fine. But only you can choose. I can't make that decision for you.
Krisha very tentatively steps forward. am the last female of fighting age. I don't claim to be a fountain of wisdom, or even necessarily strength. But if I would have your blessing, Amalia, and she turns to the rest of them, all of your blessing, I would give my all in trying to lead us into some form of amends. Some form of a future for us as dust crawlers. Not the appendix of some larger pride. We have suffered enough and we deserve to feel proud of our colors again. And I wouldn't do it alone. Of course. I would listen to wisdom. Turns to Rorak and Dairon and Sira. If you would have me. She turns to you, Amalia. All of you. If all of you would have me. Whether you're here or not. And you get a feeling of genuine sort of tentative hope from this, in terms of not from herself per se, but just
The atmosphere in the room, I'm guessing.
no, sorry, as in like at this moment, Krisha seems to be trying very hard to come across as genuine and make it seem like this is not, and she's trying very hard to convey that this is, she's not necessarily trying to do this for her own gain, but she's simply saying, I'll do my best if you would have me, but only with your blessing, Amalia.
You have my vote.
Grisha turns to the others. Rorak chuckles. Hey, Go Gaming Syndicate, thank you so much for the raid. You just caught us in a dramatic moment. Ah, gosh, we're so grateful. Oh, thanks for the follow. I love the notifications. Sorry, I cut through the tension with a knife. I'll finish this moment. I can't promise. I won't still tease you from time to time. And you best bet I'll make sure you listen to reason. But Rorak gets down on one knee. I'll follow you, sister. And Sira also says, if Amalia believes in you, so do I. And same with Dairon. And Ziptis, who is a sort of more heavy-set, chunky Leonin, who was one of the ones that was turned to stone. And just one after the other, they all, even the children, sort of bow their heads and drop to a knee in a show of fealty. And just in unison, they just say, Hail Krisha, Matriarch of the Dust Crawlers! And just in unison, they all let out a synchronized roar. Krisha nods. And Sira pulls out a beautiful sash with a perfect silver brooch or sort of like clasp that has the Dustcrawler insignia engraved upon it. This belonged to your mother, Amalia. It is worn by the Matriarch of our pride. Would you do the honor of bestowing it upon Grisha?
He takes it. Simply kind of does this to one of her eyes and then turns around and looks at Krisha.
She's standing attention like almost like a school child receiving their award. She's trying very hard to make a good impression.
Take good care of them.
We shall.
And then she simply just kind of puts it over her head.
Heavier than it looks. But maybe that's just me.
You should wear it with pride. You deserve it.
And promise me one thing. Don't be a stranger, alright? You've got your family, but you're still a Dustcrawler. You're part of our family, too. And so are they, for everything they've done.
If you're ever in Meditis, let me know.
And don't be afraid to swing by this way once in a while. I can still drink you under the table.
I'll see about that maybe next time.
She hugs you very tightly. And after she breaks, she says, "Are you staying in Tethmas long?"
I'm actually not sure. I need to check that with the rest of the party. They want to go home, but, you know, going home with them.
Rorak says, "I and the others, or I at least." He's realizing that there's actually like
I
6
do
warriors
think,
left.
I'll
I
come
will.
back and make sure I say goodbye.
I can see you through a safe path in the Frost Gauntlet. Now that it is unoccupied, perhaps it can be used once more. He thinks, "Yeah, you're right, fuck that place. Still, I know a few safe paths through the mountains. I can take you as far as the edge of the Cataclysms, but then I'd probably have to return." Should you decide to leave sooner rather than later. But talk with your family. And for as long as we have this place, you are our guests as well. Alright, and you part with them. Yeah?
One teeny little thing. Before I part with them, can I pull Rorak aside and, like, pull him outside so no one else can hear us?
Okay. He sort of stands. He's taller than you, despite being lankier. And he's sort of with his almost like a mohawk. Not so much mohawk, but his mane definitely sort of is a bit more jagged and short than others. But yeah.
I know I never said this to you, and I kind of feel like I have to just before I go. But you were always my favorite. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I loved you too. Now don't let that go to your head though. Just saying.
Oh no, you don't get out of it, says he. He just grabs you by the shoulder and just, like, presses his forehead to yours.
Does the same. It just sort of sighs into the like, little moment. You're never gonna let me forget this moment, are you?
Not if the earth splits in two. I'll see you again. Count on that.
I'll see you.
He nods and goes back inside to be with what remains of the Duskcrawler Pride. You easy enough find your way back, and you watch as Xanthia and Hilira are just mid cavalcade of dance. Hilira in particular is being like just held by the arms of a just behemoth of a Leonin that seems to almost rival a Johnny in size. The difference being he's got a big fat belly as well. And he's just got Hilira and he's like basically full on helicoptering her. Just woo, woo. And Hilira's like, wee. You watch as Xanthia has a like full-on flagon of meat is chugging just as heavily as the three other like large male Leonin next to her, and they're like, "How are you doing this? You're 30 pounds soaking wet." But you gather Bacchius and Scrutinos, who are in a relatively similar state, to be honest. What do you guys do? What do you guys say?
Can I go over to Scotty first?
Yes, you can.
Skirtinos, actually, probably in the time that's passed, has gone from happy drunk to sad drunk. And he's now probably sat nursing one too many beers, kind of like balancing it tentatively against the table. But yeah, looks up as you rock up and gives you a smile and a nod.
I don't think I've ever seen the four of you like this before. But I know you're having a good time, so that's all that counts. How are you feeling?
We're celebrating.
Great.
Yeah. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
We almost died, but we did not, and so we should celebrate.
Oh, also about
The giant
party.
male Leonin, who actually you guys didn't realize, like was not like you didn't necessarily step away from him, just puts a behemoth of a hand on your shoulders, Xanthia, and says, "If I had a copper for every time I have said that sentence to myself, that's how you know you lived." And he just he does what to him would be a playful jostle, but you are sent like about 5 feet away, Xanthia. Oh, sorry, and he just like picks you up and props you up again. Right, that's enough for me. Gonna go roll over and probably pass out for a few weeks. Just thump, thump, thump. Just walks away. Can't hear you, Ali.
Do apologize, amateur. Can't hold his booze. Oh, as I have an amphora of wine in each hand, and I'm continuously chugging, miming barbell lifts.
Roll a
I have probably at some point.
At this point, Bacchios. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Scotty.
I was going to say, at some point, just to keep it going, like I could see that Bacchios has still got the spirit, and where Scotinus has kind of lost it somewhat. He doesn't want to throw off Bacchios' vibes, so he's going to cast heroism on Bacchios.
What does that do?
Heroism.
I think you're immune to being frightened.
Yes, you are. So you can drink with the best of them. Yeah, you are immune to being frightened. You gain temporary hit points equal to. So you gain.
By the way, if you've been chugging wine, please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh hell yeah, I'm all about
Yeah.
that.
It's going to be a
You
high
have-
DC because this is like you've been drinking for hours at this point.
+4
Yeah.
because you're drinking close
Oh.
to me.
You do have
Oh.
4 temporary hit points though each turn. So
Oh,
even if
lovely.
you feel a little, if your tummy starts to give you up, the heroism is
Ooh.
helping you out.
No, with the from sheer heroics, I swallow the vomit because I get a dirty 20 with a +4, so 24.
24 fails.
Are
Oh
you
no.
fucking kidding
You
me?
don't throw
I'm
up.
gonna-
Don't worry. You don't throw up. But you definitely, like, a teeny bit comes up, and you're like, okay, maybe this is the line. Maybe this is the moment where I say, like, let's end the amount of drinking on a good note, and you fear that if you do anything else, it may tip it over the edge, and you feel very sleepy.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence saving throw to see whether or not that thought actually crosses my head, if that's okay.
Okay.
Martinez has been pretty similar, even if he's kind of gone into the more mopey drunk state. I rolled a 26 on mine.
Also roll a con save.
Have you been drinking as well, Xanthia?
Yeah,
With the same amount as Barkios?
probably not quite
Okay,
as much.
roll a Constitution saving throw.
Well, she rolls that. I rolled a 7 for my intelligence check, so as far as I'm concerned, keeping drinking is a great idea.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
Okay.
No.
Again, so I'm not gonna do the whole puke thing because that's played out. But with a 12, I'll say you get that very touchy drunk. That like so you go to like Hilarica, like just like put her like pull into your hands and like sort of like just like rubbing her like shoulders and like just like staring. I was like, you're so great. Like you were just so great out there and you're just like very handsy.
Also, Hilera, I don't know if I've said it yet, but that piercing you got? Great. I totally love that.
It's so shiny.
I don't think we plan to do this. Thank you, Cynthia. Just like
No,
stick
damn
close
it.
to me, okay? Cynthia, just like give her a side hug. Just like hold her in.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, Xanthia, so you're just super cuddly right now. That's the kind of drunk you are.
I'll cuddle with you.
It
Okay,
is
I have a
adorable.
question. Would I notice that Scotty isn't his normal happy drunk self? Like, would I notice like that slight kind of
To
change in him?
clarify, Scotty, are you sad drunk because it's like the sheer amount of alcohol, or are you sad drunk because you've got other stuff on your mind?
Other stuff.
Oh, okay. Make an insight check, Amalia.
Please be a good roll, please. Where the heck is insight? Oh, here we go.
And Scotty, are you trying very hard to hide it?
Not really. I think at this point he's drunk enough that it's at the point where he's now kind of caught up in his own thoughts. So he's not.
Okay, so it'll be a
seeing what's
relatively
happening.
low DC.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make an insight check, Amalia.
Mm.
What? 10?
10.
Okay, 10 just succeeds. So you're definitely preoccupied, so you almost miss it, but you definitely catch Scotty's demeanor at the edge of your vision.
I'm just gonna go sit next to him, and then I like gently kind of push you into a hug. So we're hugging, and then I'm just gonna whisper, "Are you okay? You seem off."
So initially, he kind of just like happy, just like sort of makes like a happy noise, and then just happily goes into the hug. And then, as you ask, you feel him stiffen slightly, and he goes quiet for a bit, and then goes, "Well, we did what you needed to do. we did your big quest thing that you've been wanting to do for ages. Like Eslin did.
Buddy, I'm not gonna leave you. You're my family.
Yeah, but but you've got family here as well now, and Eslin went back to look after her family, and you got the tribe back, and
I did the tribe to someone else. I told them I'm staying with this family.
you still could. It's not bad to. It's just preparing in case. But it's fine.
Don't prepare. I'm not leaving. You, Hilira, Destinia, Xantia, even Bacchios. I love you guys. I'm saying.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself, Amalia. You're dang fine lioness.
Do you mind? We're having a moment.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm going back to.
that's an oofer. That's a big ol' oofer.
I think Scotty probably didn't even notice it for the most part. He's probably just say he stays quiet, just stays in the hug, and he's just quiet.
Hush, little Scotty, don't say a word. Amalia's gonna stay in the family.
You're not a good bard.
Oh no, that was just Amalia being Amalia.
It didn't even rhyme. All the good
That's
ones
why
rhyme.
you're the singer.
I'm not supposed to be the singer either. I just sang songs because it's what satyrs do.
That's
And
why
most
you're
of
a good satyr.
not compared to most of the Dawn Greets I know. They weren't a huge fan of my songs. They like happy songs, and mine were always very dark and very broody and very creepy.
That's the best kind.
I don't know, but I guess I'm used to not everyone, not being everyone's cup of sake. I guess, and well,
Reality break. Sorry, continue.
you know.
Cup of ouzos, probably. Sorry, continue.
Eslin, Eslin was really focused on what she had to do, and she had all these plans for what to do after, and then I'd worried we didn't get on well when we had that fight in her house about what she needed to do, and I like being confrontational, not like fighting, but I like being honest, and well, lots of people don't like it when you're honest, so
Most people don't like the truth, that's why.
Maybe.
I miss Eslin. And Calliope. And Jason.
Oh, I miss Jason.
When I newly flew into that bird, it reminded me of Jason.
He kept getting picked up by everything. Maybe he should have been a Pegasus in another life. I'm sorry. This is a happy time. I'm being a mood kill.
No, you're allowed to feel what you feel. And
Yeah.
I would be scared as well, because, like, if you did your mission, and then I'd be worried if you were going to leave, I'd be a mess too.
That's alright. I haven't got a mission. I left the Scale of Air with no plan, and I still have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, neither do I.
I've been underwater for weeks. I put a Gorgon to rest. I got attacked by a kobold called Clancy, I guess his name was. I don't know, I never asked.
You're
done-
gonna turn Clancy into a god by the amount that you're revering him. You realize this, right?
I've changed the wand of Figureus to the wand of Clancy in my D&D Beyond, because it just seemed the right thing to do. I've done so many weird things. Then I met Galatea. She's big. Hope she's doing okay. But I have no
Well,
plan.
when we-
I have no plan. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just go around. I bumped into you lot. I creeped out Eslin when you were looking for the kid that fell in the lake. I think. I can't remember. I don't have a plan. You had a plan. You had a goal, a mission, a quest, and Hilira's got something going on in Akros, so I'm sure we'll deal with that at some point. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll run away from it. Or maybe we run towards it. I don't know. It will involve a lot of running, I think. Running definitely is important. Bithynia. Well, I suppose we've dealt with the thing. But everyone has things to do, and everyone's got things going on, and no, I've not. That's okay. I'm all right with that.
technically, you do have a thing going on with Galatea.
Yeah. I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, when we go back to Meditis, you might want to check up on her.
Yeah. I'm all right. I've had a bit. That's all.
Okay, well, I'm here if you want to talk or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess I should say sorry to Bacchios, though, because I kind of snapped at him.
He deserved it.
I mean, yes and yes.
He's still listening.
You guys have
I
not like separated at all. Like you haven't told me you did
I'm
that. So.
Yeah.
There's still like
I'm gonna-
3 other Leonin who have like just been listening to this, and 2 of them have like tears in their eyes. It's like, no, fuck you, man. I'm not crying.
No
You're
idea
crying.
of any of this, and he's just kind of just looks over and just like he then realizes that Bacchus is still there, and he's just gonna poke him with the wand of Clancy, because it's what it's called now.
It's like that
and
moment
use
in Newsroom where it's like, excuse me, this isn't soundproof glass.
and I'm gonna cast the last 2 charges, and I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration into Bacchios and go. You're not done drinking yet. Keep going.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's technically a poison condition. I don't know how much I, Okay, fine. May revise that later, but I don't know. It feels like a cheap out. But yeah, for the purposes of brevity, I'll say a wonderfully merry night is had by all.
Yes.
And you do your best and for the most part succeed in shaking the trauma of what has just transpired. Cool, we will do just because I'm conscious of time, a little bit of a time jump. So true to his word, Rorak will offer to take you guys to the edge of the Cataclysm Mountains, finding the safest paths throughout. But he then does need to return. Would you guys be aiming to leave immediately, or?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anything else that we.
Okay.
Because we've also got the Hydra scales that we need to.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So we've got some quests to turn in.
He takes you to the edge of the Catacthon Mountains, finding safe trails. You narrowly avoid a band of roving stone giants.
Are we? We're not going through the. We're not going directly south, right? We're kind of going like through the Across direction, right?
Nah, more. Okay, so you would be. Let me just pull up the map. My apologies.
Can we buy a map?
Yes, you can buy a map. The ones in town here probably wouldn't be that great, but hang on, let me just pull up the actual map. Go to map.
Yeah, so I'm using the one we have on Legend Keeper, so I can see that Tethnos.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you kind of sort of not go like whether you. Let me actually pull up. Oh, that's right. Can I do it this way?
So like, are we heading through Mount Kerr? Are we going to?
Let me just do
Mount
one
Griffon?
quick thing. I do apologize. Player board. Let's make that visible again, but let's interact. Atlas. There we go. So now the players can see as well. So yeah, you would be passing by Mount Kure, so sort of where the U in the word mountains is. So you come out basically where the where Theros lands are, and keeping to the sort of the edges, or sort of keeping to the sort of stealthing forward. Basically, you are able to pass through the roving bands of warrior centaurs without too much trouble. Passing into the far safer Lagona grounds easily enough. I will roll for it. Hey, you do, Sure,
The
I will...
rock's after us again.
No. You know what? It wouldn't be terribly hard if you, No, I'll just... Okay, so, for the simplicity's sake, just because otherwise it's a bit of an ass-pull, I will say that you guys pass through the lands relatively straightforwardly, not too much of a problem. You pass by a couple villages along the way. You could, you sort of ask around in town, and you do find in one of the small little just hamlets a family that has an older map that's, you get the sense maybe a slight antique. It's not like necessarily like a family heirloom or anything, but it's like just something that's been around the house. They're happy enough to part with it for 10 gold.
Sure, I will buy that for the group.
Very well. And you guys have a map, and going forward, I will place a marker as to your location. But after, I guess, all in all, almost 2 weeks in terms of travel and everything like that, maybe a bit less, 10, 11 days, you see the familiar sight of the great port city of Meletis. And as you pull into town, identify yourselves at the gates, and was in sort of like the side entrance of it, was in the land-based entrance of it, and are let through. I will say that is where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you so much, Go Gaming Syndicate, for the raid. Rebecca, welcome to the audience.
I thought she was in the audience.
Yeah. We're looking forward to having you among us next week. Since we've got a lot of people here, I'll take a moment to reiterate a few of the announcements I made at the start. We have some emojis already coming in, and we'll have more going forward. The ones that are currently approved are Xanthia, Scotinos, and Calliope, but I'm waiting for the others to be approved, including the Bakios animated emoji. That's going to be quite fun. Those are all available through subscriber tiers, or I believe you can also unlock them temporarily through the other methods of like unlock a random sub and that sort of thing. And since they've become available to me again, I will show you guys once more the stream points based reactions you can unlock. You've got the yay reaction. which is just my favorite because it's just the
Yeah.
cutest. Funnily enough, that was Rebecca's reaction the moment Helita passed her death saving throw.
It was pure joy.
Pure joy, and that's why I love it so
Yeah.
much.
2 death saves down and she passes her death saving throw.
But with an 11 as well, that's what made it so perfect.
Oh,
Mhm.
close.
We've also got the, you know, if I ever am a little too overly articulate with the way I describe something, you can just go ahead and redeem this one.
You just said words and I didn't understand them.
And last but not least, for you high rollers, for you frequent watchers, you can spend about 10,000 drachmi, although I may revise that, I don't know yet, to roll for a random encounter. So if I ask for the players to roll a random encounter, I will offer one lucky person the fastest finger clicker to choose what the rewards and to roll for the random encounter, and you get to be the one who takes the blame if they roll for a horrific demise at the hands of a titanic beast.
Or another rock. Let's be honest, it's gonna be a rock every time.
Yeah, the Rock is gonna be the Rakshasa of this campaign.
Rock Shusha.
Not a boulder. It's a rock.
BDEG.
Very well. Thank you again so much to everyone who has tuned in. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the love. You guys are loved. Thank you so much to my wonderful players as always. Unless any of you guys have anything else you might like to announce or say or anything to that effect, I will conclude tonight's session. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. We are DC30.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.